Hello, and welcome to Ice is Slippery, an unserious podcast about hockey brought to you by 1.5 hockey fans. My name is Kate, and I'm the hockey fan.
And my name is Fred. I'm half a hockey fan.
Hello, Fred. How are you today?
I'm good. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday. We're recording early because hockey season's over, so I guess we can do whatever the fuck we want now.
Yeah, it's been over for many days.
I know. You have so much free time now.
I know.
Are you excited?
I'm a little bit excited for the summer of Fred to return.
Yes, it's like Brad Marchand's hot girl summer. It is also Fred's hot girl summer.
It's very hot too.
It is super hot out.
I've been waiting to do yard work until there was a heat advisory, and I did that this morning, and now we're going to do a podcast, and we'll just see if I make any sense.
Yeah, well, you never really do, so I don't know why you would start now.
Right, exactly. It'll all work out.
It'll work out how it always does. So this is going to be probably our last podcast for a while because, like I said, it's the end of the NHL season. And we're, a lot of the podcasts still keep going. We're not that podcast.
No, I mean, I feel...
You're only half a hockey fan.
I am, and my God, there's been so much hockey in the house since hockey season ended.
I need to let you have some time to recover.
I mean, shoot, even the Abbotsford. Thanks. Even that game was on our television.
It was. It's true. I know. I promised our kid, I was like, hockey season's over, and then like the next day, I'm watching the Abbotsford game.
Yeah, like, oh, let's just turn on the AHL.
In my defense, she didn't notice it was on until you pointed it out.
Well, so. I thought it was funny to point out. But
yes, because you're like that.
But yeah, I think we can certainly pop up and do like an episode here or there in the next couple months as like trade stuff comes in and interesting things happen. But I feel like it doesn't need to be weekly anymore. Yes,
there will definitely be some stuff in the off season here and there as needed. If there are maybe emergency podcasts.
Emergency, yes.
You never know. Sometimes
Absolutely.
Hockey emergencies happen.
Right.
So, and we've talked about maybe doing a best of episode to cover some of our favorite parts of our first season.
Yep.
So you will hear from us again in the off season.
Sure.
We'll have some post-season episodes.
There'll be something.
But yes, don't expect to hear from us every week because I do have to give you a break sometimes.
Yeah. And over the summer, I'm going to be reevaluating how it is I consume hockey because I've consumed more than half a hockey's fans worth of hockey this year.
You watched way more hockey than I asked you to or expected you to. And while it was appreciated, I'm very happy for you to step back a little bit because it was a lot of hockey.
It was a lot of hockey.
I don't want you to be burned out. I want you to have fun.
Yeah. I might be a third of a hockey fan next year.
That's fine. And you know what? I will step up and I'll watch more hockey. So it's
I know you will. You're going to have to.
Yeah. No, you guys won't ever see me. I'll just live in my office and watch hockey down there.
Yeah. I'm thinking of just watching third periods and maybe recaps or the highlights on the NHL for things that we'll need to talk about. But
yeah. And I can like show you clips of things that I think are cool.
Yeah.
So,
but we'll see. I might just watch all of the hockey too.
You also might do that.
Yep.
So who knows?
I'm a wild card.
You usually are.
Yep.
The most exciting of wild cards.
I'm so exciting.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start wrapping up our final episode. We've got some news.
Okay.
The biggest news outside of sort of, playoff related things and signings and trades were that the 12 countries participating in men's hockey at the 2026 Olympics each announced the first 6 players on their preliminary rosters this week.
Yep.
So we talked about that a little bit. The remainder of the rosters will be announced later in the year. I believe that each team will have a 25-person roster ultimately, which is a little bigger than Four Nations, which was a 23-person roster.
Yep.
Which is good because as we saw, they had to bring in emergency players at Four Nations. So
yep. Just get Harley on the team right up front.
Exactly. Yeah. No waiting around for Harley. Just bring him right in. So I'm not going to go through everybody, but there were some highlights. Canada, of course, has some big guns. You got Sidney Crosby, Nate McKinnon, Cale Makar, Connor McDavid, Braden Point, and Sam Reinhart.
I like how you said you weren't going to go through everybody and then you just went through all 6 of them.
I'm not going through every team. Pay attention. United States, there's Jack Eichel, Quinn Hughes, Austin Matthews, Charlie McAvoy, which hopefully they treat him better.
I feel like the Olympics are going to have better doctors.
I mean, you would hope so, but it was the Team USA doctors both times, I think. But,
oh, yikes.
But I mean, I guess maybe I'm sure they'll make improvements.
Yeah. Or they'll sterilize their needles or something.
Oh, God. And both Kachucks will be there. So, no fighting at the Olympics, but maybe they'll make a change. I don't know. Who knows? Let's mix it up a little bit.
There is no fighting at the Olympics.
There's no fighting at the Olympics, but
how interesting.
Matthew Tkachuk's still going to talk mad shit, and you know it.
Yeah.
Sweden's going to have Rasmus Dahlin, Victor Hedman, Adrian Kempe. Gabe Landeskog's going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's great. He wasn't playing a few months ago, and now he's back.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
Good for him. William Nylander and Lucas Raymond. Latvia is interesting. They named 2 goalies already, Archer Shilovs and Elvis Merzlikins, and then also Rodrigo Abels from the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah, so Abels, we liked him. He showed up and was good this year, and Shilovs has been crushing it with
Abbotsford.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been great. And then Finland is great because we know all the Finland people.
There's of them.
Sebastian Aho, there's Alexander Barkov, and then Juuse Saros for the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got some Dallas Stars on there. We have Miro Heiskanen, Esa Lindell, and Mikko Rantanen.
Nice.
Yeah, so pretty exciting. Really happy to see Esa Lindell in that first batch.
They should be pretty stacked, huh?
I think that they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they hopefully will have a healthy Miro this time around.
Right. That's right. They didn't have Miro. Yeah.
Yeah, he was damaged last time.
Is Saros a good goalie?
He's quite good. Yeah, I mean he's a starter in the NHL.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Point taken. But yeah, no, he's quite good. He's are there better? Yes, but they're also way worse. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he can be super elite. So
cool.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be really good. The other big news, of course, is there are some signings and trades happening now that the season has wrapped up.
Yep.
I'm not going to go into all of the details. The Nashville Predators acquired Eric Haula from the New Jersey Devils. An interesting signing, I thought, was that Fabian Zetterlund signed a 3-year contract extension with the Ottawa Senators. He came over from the Sharks at the trade deadline, and I know some Sharks fans were hoping he would be back, but it looks like that will not be the case.
Nope.
Matt Rempe has re-signed with the New York Rangers for 2 years at the league minimum salary of $775,000 per year.
He got the min.
He did. They did say that they are impressed with how he's been working on developing his game.
Yeah.
He's apparently already training for next year and working on developing his skills. They, I guess, don't want him to just be a goon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he can certainly bring something to the table.
Yeah. And I mean, the crowds love him. If nothing else, he's a moneymaker.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Empire State Building.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. We talked a little last week about Jonathan Taves being ready to come back into the NHL, and he can't officially sign a contract until July 1st when free agency starts, but he can make a verbal commitment, and he has with the Winnipeg Jets. They announced that they've worked out a deal with him. So he's going to sign a 1-year contract worth a $2 million base salary, but they've also structured in some bonuses based on how many games he plays all the way up until through the playoffs. So it's if he hits 20 games played, 30 games played, 40 games, all these different ones, he'll get an extra $500,000 each time.
Oh.
So if they go all the way to the cup and win the cup, he'll make $7 million altogether.
Wow.
So I think it's actually a really good way to structure it because he's, kind of a gamble. He hasn't played in 2 years. He had a couple of really down years before he was too sick to play. So this kind of gives him the chance to be prove that he's able to play again.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's it's kind of like getting a job as a salesperson in a company where it's oh, here's your base pay, but then here's what you can actually make.
Yeah, it's basically it depends sort of on the team's performance, but also how many games he plays and how deep the team goes.
Yeah.
So it's during the regular season, for every, I think, once he hits 20 games, for every 10 games he plays, he gets an extra $550,000.
Man, I'd be hustling.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, his health stuff has been really bad, so.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so I'm not surprised Winnipeg is who he signed with. The only team he ever played with was Chicago. He left there, he hadn't played well in a couple of years before he left there. Winnipeg, he's from, the Winnipeg area. They literally named a lake after him in Manitoba, Taves Lake. He's a hometown boy. So
oh, yeah.
Of course they're going to bring him back, so.
That's fun. So him and Hellebuck can go fishing on Lake Taves.
Yes, apparently.
Awesome.
I'm assuming there's fish there. Who knows? It's probably not a Great Lake. Like,
I don't
it's
know.
probably just like a pot, like a puddle. But
Hellebuck will bring fish if there's no fish in that lake.
he will figure it out. He'll get it stocked. So Dallas has been very busy with signings.
Oh
and
my
trades.
God. I know. This has been the talk of the house.
It has been. It's been an emotional roller coaster here. So on Thursday morning, we woke up to news that Matt Duchene had signed a 4-year contract extension at $4.5 million a year. And that left us with $455,000 in cap space remaining. And we still did not have a full roster for the next year. So we already knew that we were in trouble. But at that point, we were like, well, somebody's going to get traded. And at that point, we were like, obviously Mason Marchment's going to go.
Yep.
Like, we've been talking about this. This isn't news to us.
Right.
And sure enough, later that day, like within a matter of hours, it was announced that our cerulean-eyed criminal, Mason Marchment, is no longer a Dallas Star. He will be going to the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah. And I don't think you've passed the bar in Washington.
I haven't passed the bar anywhere, but I especially haven't passed it in Washington. It was already illegal for me to be practicing law in Texas from Colorado when I haven't passed the bar in either place.
Yeah, but Texas is a little more loosey-goosey with the laws.
Right, exactly. I wasn't really worried about that. So I feel like Washington probably has like a higher standard.
Probably.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe a Kraken fan might have to take over, defense attorney responsibilities.
Yeah.
So, I was very, very sad and still am. I did get some consolation because, as we talked about last week, we really wanted him to go to a place where the uniforms would complement his eyes, and he's going to look great in Kraken colors.
Yeah, we were saying like Canucks and a couple other teams. I don't know how we missed Seattle. Like, what a great, they have the best colors.
They have the best colors, best uniforms, so he's going to look fantastic.
I've never been to a game there, but we might have to go next year when the Stars play them now.
We've talked about wanting to go see a game at Climate Pledge, so I think this gives us the perfect excuse to go there.
Yeah, it seems like
a trip.
Seems like a great arena.
Yeah, and our kid is very interested in Seattle, just in general.
And I've developed a strong interest in fishing lately.
You have, it's true.
I'm digital fishing.
Digital fishing, but not the same thing as real fishing.
And not like fishing PH, not like trying to steal people's money.
No, just like fishing games on the computer.
Yeah.
So he's very outdoorsy.
I'm very outdoorsy. Yeah. So no, that sounds good. Like Seattle feels like our homeland, even though we've never been there.
True. I technically have been to the airport there.
Okay.
We drove from the airport to Vancouver, so I've been in the city.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, but other than that. Something that I think is really cool, though, is, Jessica Campbell is the assistant coach there.
Yep.
And you know what? She's really great at coaching.
Bad skaters.
Yes, she's good at coaching skating. She has a skating academy, I think. So
yeah.
It would be awesome if maybe she could help him skate a little less like Gumby.
Right. Yeah. During whatever the camp, she's going to see him skating, be like, oh no.
Oh, I'm sure she's already noticed in games. She's already like, what the fuck, guys? Come on. I don't have enough to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, who knows?
She could unlock a new level in him.
This could be a big turning point for him and his development.
Yes. So I'm really going to miss him, though. We did get a 3rd and 4th round pick, which is, not a lot, but everyone knows how strapped we are for cap space. So this was really a cap dump, which we all knew.
Yep.
But we'll miss you, Mush.
Yeah. And that breaks up the
thruple line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is very sad.
And Jake's buddy's gone.
Jake's buddy is gone. It was like the same day that they traded Delandria. It was like the 1-year anniversary of when they traded Delandria too.
Oh yeah.
So
they just keep stealing Jake's boyfriends.
They do.
And Jake's having a baby now too.
And Jake's having a baby. Like what?
Man.
Who's going to be the crazy uncle? Like Tyler, I guess. But like,
yeah,
it's not really the same. Like nobody's as unhinged as Mush. So.
No, not on that team currently.
No, not currently.
Nope.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's sad. It really is a sad day. Just because I knew it was coming, doesn't mean that I'm not saddened, because I am.
Yep.
Well, on Friday, Jim Nill did use some of that money from the Marchment trade to sign Maverick Bourque to a 1-year contract extension at $950,000. and Nils Lundqvist to a 1-year contract extension at $1.25 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that did fill in some of our roster gaps for next year.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
Yeah.
Our hockey is an absolute shambles because everyone was positive that they were going to officiate Maverick Bourque and steal him away from us, and gloating about how they had this foolproof plan to take our well-developed talent and run away screaming into the night with him.
Yeah.
And there are people who are like, he could have easily made 1.5 or 2 million with a different team if he would have waited until free agency. And I'm like, yeah, why do you think Jim Nill didn't let him get to free agency? Like, he was not the best GM in the league 2 years in a row for no reason.
Right. Yeah, I think that's good that Bourque stays. I think he certainly has the potential to do more. And now that he's got more stuff, more games under his belt, and, you know, the ice will be opening up without Marchment around there flailing around. So, you know.
I think he's going to be able to maybe find a little bit more of a permanent home in the top 3 lines. He was definitely bounced around a lot just because of the depth, you know, with our sort of lack of cap space. That is freeing up some room for him to be able to move up and be in there more consistently. Mm-hmm. I did hear a rumor on Reddit that apparently Bourque was not a fan of DeBoer. And if DeBoer had not left, that Bourque was probably going to head to free agency.
So he liked the team, not the coach.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
So I did think that was interesting. That was literally just like one commenter who like knows somebody who knows Bourque or something.
Sure.
So completely unsubstantiated.
But
you
makes
know,
sense.
Yeah, I'm a gossip. So
yeah.
Just figured I'd repeat it here.
Just spread it around
the world. So yeah.
And then Nils Lundqvist, whatever.
No, I'm happy about Nils Lundqvist. He was looking good at the start of the season before he was out, like with his shoulder that knocked him out for the whole season. And it's a good price for who he is and where he's at. And we again need affordable players right now, and he knows our system.
He just seems so tiny.
He is. We are not known for having sizable people.
I don't think knowing the system matters anymore with no more DeBoer.
Yeah, well, I guess not so much the system as like the team.
Yeah.
He knows the team. He gets along with people.
Yeah.
He's definitely part of the fabric.
He knows how to drive to the stadium arena without Google Maps.
Yes, that certainly helps a lot. So we do still have 4 more forwards that we need to fill in currently. And we only have $2.75 million in cap space.
So you just divide that. Oh, that doesn't even hit the minimum, does it?
Nope. It sure does not. So we do still need to make some moves. There are currently several UFAs on the team who remain unsigned. They include Jamie Benn, Mikhail Granlund, Colin Blackwell, and Evgeny Donov, and then also Cody Ceci and Brendan Smith. So I think Ceci and Smith got a walk. They're not like bringing anything really to the table.
No, they're not.
Defense-wise. Defense-wise, also speaking of, we got to get rid of Dumba. Like, that's not news to anybody.
No, I mean, that was your stance from the moment you heard he was going to be on the team. You're like, well, we got to get rid of him.
Yeah, no, I was like, this is a terrible, terrible mistake. And I stood by that the whole time, and I continue to stand by it.
Yep.
So I'm very much hoping that we can trade him. I think it's unlikely somebody's just going to take him off of our hands.
I love how everything I've seen about like Dumba, like, they're like, oh, what are they going to do with that? Nobody wants that. Like, man, he must go on the internet, right? Like, he must know that he's like, people are like, oh man, what a boat anchor he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not news to him that like his play has really fallen off ever since he like ruptured his pec like in 2019 or whenever. Like his play really fell off, and that's not a surprise to him. But yeah, no, it's
yeah. Man, that would just suck to be like talked about like that on the old internets.
I think probably if you're a hockey player, you got pretty thick skin.
Yeah,
it's just stupid because he did it like in a fight. Like, he didn't even like injure himself in a game. He was like fighting.
Yeah.
So dumb. But yeah, I just really hope we're able to actually trade him, because the other option is a buyout, which does not give us as much cap space as a trade would.
Right.
And I do think that possibly that getting those draft picks from Seattle, one of those goes to sweeten the deal to dumping Dumba somewhere for cap space.
Or both of them.
Weren't
they Dallas picks originally or something?
Yes,
one of them was.
I believe one of them was originally.
Yeah.
So that would be great. And then also there's talk about maybe Lyubushkin being dumped some people are really down on Lyubushkin. I don't think he's as bad as people are making him out to be. He was really crucial on the PK this year. He was part of the reason we had, I think it was the second best PK in the league all year. He was a lot better than advertised. However, his cap hit is $3.25 million, which where we are at right now, like, I think that would be fine if we were not like literally like shaking the couch cushions trying to find change to pay people.
Yeah, I don't know that number matches him. It's kind of like Owen Tippett. Like, you're like, no, you're okay, but you're not that okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we weren't in such a tight cap space, I think I'd be fine with it. But since we are in such a tight cap space, I'm like, ooh, no, I don't think so.
Still blows my mind how much these guys make. Like, the minimum is like CEO level money.
No, I know. Like Matt Rempe, I'm like, how are you going to survive in New York City
right?
on $775 a year?
He's going to get a 1-bedroom studio.
Like, I guess he lives with the goalie, so it's fine. But like, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely got to get rid of Dumba, possibly Lyubushkin.
Yep.
I think we re-sign Ben. I mean, I think it's made pretty clear he wants to re-sign and the organization wants to re-sign him. And it sounds like he's fine to re-sign at like a minimum.
That'd be mayhem if he didn't end up in Dallas next year.
He definitely is. The only way he doesn't is if he decides to retire.
Right.
And then I think we got to re-sign Colin Blackwell.
Yeah, you said he's not like expensive.
Yeah, he was making I think $775 last year. Like, I don't think he made a lot.
Well, he's worth that money.
Absolutely. I think give him like $1 million and just keep him. He's a great fourth liner. I know he's small, but like nonstop hustle. He has, I think definitely more than earned it.
Yep.
And he's been great off the ice too. Remember, like, he invited all the people who didn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving over with his family.
Yeah.
So I think he's been great on ice, off ice. You know, he wasn't always in the lineup. He was a lot of times like the 13th, man. But like,
that could have just been DeBoer stuff too, right? Like DeBoer would bring him in for energy, he said, or something.
Yeah, which I'm like, okay, we need energy all the time. Fucking leave him in, dummy.
Right.
But what do I know?
Yeah.
I just have a podcast.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I think Blackwell, bring him back. I think this,
I like him.
I like him. I liked him anyway, but I think we can definitely afford him. Dadonov, I think maybe it's time to move on from. Yeah. I like him personally.
I do too.
But he might be even at like, I think he's like 2.5 million or something like that. Okay. I think that's a little pricey for what he brings maybe right now.
I liked him and Domi together when they both
came.
Yeah.
And if we could only keep one, I was happy we kept him. But then and then Granlund, I love Granlund, but
yeah, apparently he's a fancy boy.
He's making, I think, like 4 or 5 million a year. So we can't afford that.
No.
We'd have Granlund at home, by which I mean we have other Finnish players.
I know. How's Jim going to let go of a Finnish player?
I don't know. Well, he's done it before.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Kiwi Ransa went to the Avs. And
that's
stuff,
right. So. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we don't always hoard all of the Finns. Okay. Like Infinity Stones or Infinity Stones.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh, that was terrible. I got to take a break.
That's a dad joke I appreciate.
I'm glad somebody does. I don't appreciate that I just accidentally made that. Anyway, I don't know that we can afford Granlund. So I think maybe for another forward, we might need to go to the AHL. Maybe Blumel's ready.
Okay.
Maybe Britskovian.
We liked both of them when we saw the AHL team play.
Yes, we did. So, and then also with Dumba gone though, like we're going to need a 7th defenseman. So does that mean we bring up Petro? I mean,
he's next in line. He's been brought up.
He has been, but like he's also like 33 and has been playing largely in the AHL for his career.
Let's trade him.
No.
Let's get him out.
No.
I don't.
No. I don't know. I'm just glad I'm not Jim Nill. Like I was playing around on Puckpedia in GM mode yesterday and I literally named my team Math Lady Meme because it was very confusing. I didn't like it. So there's a reason I'm a writer and not a mathematician.
Yep.
So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of where the status of Dallas is. So once we have all of that settled, maybe I'll do a little mini podcast about that. But
yeah.
I'm interested to see what July 1st brings. I'm really interested to see when Matt Dumba goes.
Right.
I can't.
That'll be like the emergency episode. Like it'll go up like on a Wednesday afternoon, like Dumba's gone.
Yeah, pretty much. It'll be 5 minutes long and it'll just be like me dancing around.
I feel like there's more Dallas news, and you've buried the lead with Dallas.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I totally forgot to write this down.
Oh my God, right?
I was so caught up in the signings and trades.
Yes.
Steve Spot's gone.
Steve Spot. Steve Spot is gone.
Steve Spot is gone, and my cat is so excited. She's batting around a bottle cap in the background.
Absolutely.
So if you hear noises, that's what that is.
Yep.
Yeah, Steve Spot has moved on and taken a job at, I think it was in Boston.
I think it was Bruins, yeah.
Yeah. So good riddance. I mean,
good luck.
Best wishes. Best wishes.
Yeah.
We all, like, I was very surprised that he was not let go at the same time Pete was. But he's gone now, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief that maybe our power play can be restored to being functional once more.
Yeah, once Torts gets in there and fixes things up.
Oh my God, Torts isn't coming. Stop trying to make Torts happen. It's not going to happen. Thank you for reminding me about that. I think I was so happy that he was gone. I had just already erased his existence. Like I had eternal sunshined him from my memory.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, he's gone. We can move on, turn the page. And that's it for kind of signings and trades and stuff for now. And so, yeah, I think it's time to talk about the end of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah, that's funny. I thought we would talk about that first, but we have like a format.
Yeah, well, we do have a format. So, yeah, I figured I'd stick with the format because I did almost talk about that first. But yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
All right. So the last time we checked in, the Oilers had just lost Game 5 and were down 3-2 in the series. So Game 6 was back in Florida, and it was a must-win for Edmonton if they wanted to stay in it. Spoiler alert, they did not.
Apparently not.
Yeah. So we watched it in the first period. Bobrovsky did look a little wobbly, but the Panthers struck first with a goal from Reinhart after a turnover from Bouchard, I think it was.
Oh,
it was pretty bad.
Like, as soon as it happened, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I was like, that's going in the net.
Yeah. No, it was very evident.
And it was ridiculous how he had to make that goal, too. He, like, on his butt, sliding across the ice, but he did it.
Yeah. No, it was crazy.
Yeah. Bouchard did it.
Bouchard.
Bouchard.
So, yeah. And then with about 4 minutes to go, the Panthers nearly widened their lead, but Skinner did bail out the team with some solid back-to-back saves. At the end of the period, they were spending a lot of time in the Oilers' end. And I was like, if the Oilers can get out of this period only down 1 goal, they'll be lucky. So, of course, with under a minute left, Matthew Tkachuk scored after another defensive breakdown from Edmonton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Panthers are up 2-0 after the first. And then it was just like the rest of the game is really not worth talking about. It was just...
No, it, again, wasn't a good game.
It wasn't a good game.
Like, it was good for the Panthers.
Great. The Panthers looked great. The Oilers did not look great. It was just...
They were doing that buddy system for defense again, which doesn't appear to be a good system.
Yeah, where they have like 2 guys on one player and leave another Panthers player completely undefended.
Right, yeah.
It just doesn't seem to be good.
No. And then, like, Connor definitely, like, gave it something at some point where he's like, all right, I guess I have to do it myself, but like, you can't do it yourself.
You can't do it yourself. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
So in the third period, they did pull Skinner with over 6 minutes left.
Right. I know I was sitting on the couch. I was like, guys, get possession first. Don't pull him without possession. Don't pull him with a face off.
Yeah. And yeah, like almost immediately Reinhart scored, and that was his third of the night. So he got a hat trick on the empty net.
In the game winning.
And yeah, well, no, technically.
In the game.
Yes,
that
in
won.
In the game that won the series.
Right.
Podkolzin did score for Edmonton, which kept it from being shut out. He looked so dejected afterwards. Never seen anybody so dejected after a goal, unless it was like an own goal.
Yeah, no, I mean, own goals didn't even seem that dejected throughout the season. He was just like, yeah, I put it in the net, whatever. All right.
Yeah, he's like, let's just keep going. And then Reinhart had another empty net goal, so he got the dick trick. Like, might as well just keep going.
Yep.
And yeah, with about 8 seconds left on the clock, the score was 5-1 in favor of the Panthers, and there was really no chance that anybody was going to catch up. So it didn't matter that the game was technically still going on. The Panthers players just started pouring onto the ice to celebrate because they had just won their back-to-back Stanley Cup.
Yeah. No.
And honestly, they fucking deserved it.
I mean, they crushed.
They really did. Like, they played so well.
Yeah.
They just dominated. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know that anybody could have beat them for realsies.
No. I mean, we've certainly said that at some point early in the playoffs. Like, how does anybody beat them?
Yeah.
And, you know, I certainly wasn't a fan of their early games because I did feel like they were just kind of being extra dirty on purpose.
Yeah.
But they righted that whole storyline with Edmonton. Like, they just came out and played a solid game the entire time. And it's like, they don't have... Bennett doesn't have to injure the goalies to win.
Yeah, the goalies are already not doing... They're already not doing it on their own.
Right.
Well, and Edmonton played pretty dirty in that series, especially in the first game.
That chaos game, too.
That chaos game, yeah. So, you know, we did start out rooting for the Oilers to win, like, after the Panthers had really sort of leaned maybe a little too hard into that villain edit that they had going on. But, you know, yeah, I have it in my notes. I regret to inform you that I do once again enjoy the Florida Panthers because I just do. Like,
yeah, no, they're
fun to watch. And
they are. They're a good group, obviously. I mean, they tell you that they're a good group, but it's quite clear that they are a good group.
Yeah, it's, you know, they play great hockey and they are rat men, but they are charming rat men.
Yep.
And like, off the ice, they got to be all wholesome and it's just gross. Like, it's so cute.
Yeah.
And I love/hate it, like, because I just want to pinch all their little faces.
The off the ice shenanigans post cup have just been some of the best enjoyable stuff to watch.
And even like immediately, like even before the game ended, there's a little video of Paul Maurice talking to the fourth line guys. And he's like, hey, I want to get you guys on the ice before the buzzer ends. Like when the clock runs out, I want you guys to go there and like throw off your gloves and throw everything off and celebrate because we don't make it here without you.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. And he had like Gadjevich and some other guys out there and he was right. Like those were the guys. Like those were the ones who carried them through like in Toronto when they were down.
Yeah.
And like, it's fucking baller. Like, it's cool.
That was very cool.
And then when they got the cup, you know, they always hand the cup to the captain. So Barkov got it. And then Barkov hands it off to Nate Schmidt, who's like a fourth line guy.
Yeah.
And then they keep handing it to these other guys who are like, they hand it to like the third backup goalie, I think.
Right. The backup.
Yeah. And, you know, these like defensemen, like these guys who had never played before. And you realize that they handed it to all the guys who had never won the cup before.
Yeah.
Like Seth Jones, who had just, you know, come over from Chicago.
What a year for Seth.
What a year for Seth, who was like, please get me the fuck out of here. I would like to win something sometime. And yeah, it was like the leadership group decided ahead of time. They're like, hey, you know what? We all won the cup last year. Like, let's give it to the new guys. And they were like so emotional about it, the new guys.
It's hard to hate on that.
It really, really is. Like everyone assumed Brad Marchand might get it first, which would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually thought that too.
But. Yeah, but like it was just really sweet. And then, you know, they get everyone involved. Like Barkov was out on the ice with the cup at 1:30 in the morning, like because there's still people in the arena, like I think cleaning up, and then just like the staff.
Yep.
And he's just out on the ice with the cup doing this like cute little shimmy shake and like lifting the cup to make everybody cheer.
It's true. Yeah, if you haven't seen it from the
forward angle.
From the forward angle, definitely find that because you don't see the shimmy shake from the side as good. But God, he's so cute.
He's adorable. I just want to put him in my pocket.
Yeah.
I need a very large pocket.
Yep.
So just like starting that night, and like obviously they're still up to their ratty stuff too, because like in the locker room while they're back there just absolutely trashing the locker room, they're up on tables and Matt Tkachuk's smoking a cigar and they're spraying champagne all over and drinking beer out of the cup, and they're all singing Pink Pony Club.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a fuck you to Edmonton.
And you know, I don't know when that happened, but I've got to imagine Edmonton was still within probably earshot.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were in the building.
Connor McDavid's in there throwing his sweaty gloves.
Oh man.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not a good night for them.
No. And like I mean, it's rat behavior, but it's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you can't. I mean, you could hate on that, but you'd be wrong too.
Yeah, I mean, there are people hating on it, but I think it's funny.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, I regret to inform you, but they've won me over again, so it's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, yeah, obviously, like last year, we know that they went off on their sort of big like post winning drunken shenanigans tour, and they picked right up where they left off.
Absolutely.
Literally, because they went back to the Elbow Room, which is where they started off last year.
Yep.
And they got a police escort there. They drove over in a golf cart.
Yep.
Matt Tkachuk was driving, and he was definitely not sober.
Yeah.
From I assume. But they've got a police escort there. They're driving down the street in a golf cart with half the team crammed in the Stanley Cup and smoking cigars. They're at the Elbow Room at like 5 a.m. They're pouring beer on the crowd who has gathered outside.
Yep.
The crowd's chanting Brad Marchand's name and saying thank you, Boston.
Yep.
There's a guy on Reddit who, as soon as the Marchand trade happened, he had a special jersey made that said scumbags on the back, and it has Bennett, Marchand, and Kachuk's numbers on it. And he had already gotten Marchand and Tkachuk to sign it at different events, but he didn't have Bennett's name on it. Bennett's dad saw it from the balcony and loved it and was like, pass it up to me. And he got Bennett over to sign it. And Bennett thought it was great and passed it back down to him.
Yep.
So he's got all the trifecta complete now, which is hilarious, like that they would embrace it like that. Yeah. And then, it has just continued from there. Like,
yeah.
Nonstop shenanigans.
Nonstop shenanigans.
Yeah, I think it was the next night, Brad Marchand was all up on his Instagram stories, posting pictures of his teammates who had been traded elsewhere and thanking their original teams.
Yep.
Even like tagging the Winnipeg Jets where Paul Maurice used to be, and someplace where Bill Zito came from.
Maybe the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, I think so.
One of the blue teams.
And Reinhart and Tkachuk and Barkov all returned the favor by posting a picture of Marchand and thanking the Bruins and tagging the Bruins. And like Marchand's tagging all the teams. Like they're not just like saying,
right.
Like they are physically tagging the teams.
Yeah, yeah.
Just being like, thanks for helping us build our team. That's so good and so cool. And we love each other so much.
They do.
They did a little hanging out in the community the next day when obviously they're still super hungover, if not still drunk.
This is after the 11 club, or is this before the 11?
Oh, actually, I think this was after. So yeah, so let's talk about the 11 Club first.
Okay, sure.
So yeah, they're at the 11 Club, which is a big nightclub in Miami, apparently.
Yep.
And
we lived there, but we never went to Miami.
No, we didn't.
Actually, I went there once for work, but...
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever went. Yeah, we've always been boring, so yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we've seen a lot of videos. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos too, but absolute chaos. There's great videos of Marchand throughout the night, adding more and more accessories, like various pairs of glasses and chains, and giving drunken speeches, and crowd surfing with the Stanley Cup to a remix of the Pink Pony Club once again.
That was like a EDM Pink Pony Club.
Yes, exactly. The whole group is together singing "We Are the Champions." Matt Tkachuk has his championship belt again that he wore everywhere last year.
Oh, that's right. I guess I see that and I don't think twice about that.
Yeah, no, it just is like part of his look.
Right.
It's just like, oh, of course that's there.
Yeah.
And like he's jumping up and down. Mackie Samoskevich was climbing up a pole and taking off his shirt. Barkov was dancing. If you haven't seen the Barkov dancing video, just go to Instagram and type in Barkov dancing, and it's amazing.
It's about as out of control as I've ever seen a Finn.
Yeah.
Do the dancing.
It's amazing. Yeah. I'll maybe find it and put it on our socials because it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Barkov almost got his head taken off by the smoke machine.
Yep.
Which was also funny.
Yeah, he's just, man, having the best time.
Yeah, Marchand was trying to get back in the club at 5 a.m. and Barkov had to wrangle him back out of the club.
I wonder what he was trying to get back in for.
I mean, I think just to keep the party going, probably.
Yeah.
There was just so much going on, but they were clearly having a blast and having a great time.
Yeah.
And then, the next day they were just out in the community doing stuff. Sam Reinhart was at Raising Cane's, which they did last year too, serving up chicken fingers.
Serving up underseasoned chicken fingers.
I mean, maybe they're seasoned in Florida. They're not seasoned here.
That's true.
So.
Elevation does bad things to food.
Apparently.
Food was great in Florida.
Yeah, that's the only thing I miss about it.
And then we moved
and my family, obviously.
Yeah, they're there too. But
yeah, but other than that.
But yeah, I don't know. And what? Marshawn was at?
Marshawn was at Dairy Queen, obviously. Serving up the chocolate chip blizzards, which they're calling the Brad blizzards now, apparently. I don't know if it's just at that location,
right.
Probably. But, and yeah, he was very delighted by a shirt a guy had that was presumably from last year. That's like a picture of Sam Bennett holding a crying baby with like Brad Marshawn's face on the crying baby. And he was like, what is that? And then he was like, this is fucking great. So they're just having a blast. Like they're just all obsessed with each other.
No, they are. And yeah. And I, having lived in Florida for as long as we have, like, I know we talk shit about Florida, but we can because we lived there for so long and you grew up there.
Yeah, I did.
Like it's okay. We get it. But the vibes are just quintessential. Like that's the Florida that's fun. Like, and they've just nailed it, right? Like that kind of, I don't even know what that energy is, but that's very much an energy that exists there.
It's just like a spring break debauchery kind of environment.
Yeah.
Like if you ever watched like MTV Spring Break back in the day, it's just like the hockey equivalent of that.
Yep.
Like it's just everyone's drunk, everyone's having a great time, everybody's down with it. Like even the cops are like, this is cool.
Yep.
Like there's a video from Elbow Room of like them pouring beer in the cup to go pour on the crowd, and there's a cop, they were like filming it on his phone, just having a blast.
Yeah.
Like everyone's just having the time of their lives. And like there's a great video of Kachuk from earlier today where he's like talking about how it's just really fun to be out there like in the city, like partying with people, because like their energy was a big part of like what got them there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we're doing other stuff too that's just us. Like tonight we're going to do a thing that's just like us, and it's just us with the cup and each other, and like we love doing that stuff, but like it's also great to go out and like be with everybody. And it's, I don't know, they're just so fun.
They are fun. They're having fun. Barkov's living his best life, ringing his neighbors at 5 a.m.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, that same night of the winning the cup, he went to his neighbor's house and was ringing the doorbell at 5 a.m.
Yep. There's a Ring camera.
Yeah.
He's like, is he coming down? She's like, yeah, he's coming. He's coming.
And he's like, is he coming? She's like, yes, he is. He's like, we said we were going to do this. She's like, I know.
He's putting his clothes on.
Yeah. I mean, just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Brad Marchand had like left his garage door open.
Oh, yeah. Earlier in the week, previous week or something.
Yeah. And his neighbor like let him know about it, and he gave the neighbor tickets to, I think it was the final game.
Yeah. No, his neighbor went over and closed his door, closed the garage door, and left him a Ring message or something, and got like 6 tickets to the finals.
Yeah. I mean, they're just dudes.
Yeah. They're just dudes.
They're just dudes.
Doing dude things.
Having a great time.
Yep.
Brad Marchand definitely signed a guy's chest at 11 and possibly pinched his nipple. I saw that in a video.
I think he signed somebody's head too.
Barkov was supposed to sign somebody's hat and instead signed his face.
Oh, maybe that was the one I saw.
Yeah. And it was just like a smear of like Sharpie all over the guy's face.
Yep.
They're just ridiculous and so silly, and I just really enjoy it. And they were like that last year too, and they were just basically like, yeah, we just work real hard, and then when it's over, we just have a lot of fun. And
no, they brought their A game for the post celebration. I think the internet was a better place for all the shenanigans.
Yeah. And like, this is what I want. I want Dallas to build this culture where they can play real hard and then also like have a great time. I don't think that they can have the great time off ice either. So we need to have both.
I don't know what a Dallas celebration would be. They go out and get a steak dinner and then go golfing the next morning or something.
You know, you're not wrong.
And Matt Duchene's going to fucking get up on this.
Oh my God. Duchene's going to play a country song.
He's going to bring his guitar to the steak dinner.
He's going to be the guitar guy at the party. He's always going to be the guitar guy at the party. So I don't know. I'm happy for them. It's, again, they deserved it. And so I know people are annoyed, but whatever. It is what it is. And if somebody's going to win and it's not going to be one of my teams, I would rather it be a team that's like having a great time and giving us great content. So I know at least I'll get another week or two of drunken shenanigans.
There's more shenanigans to come. We haven't even seen like Paul Maurice wasted giving his speech in his kitten shirt.
Yes. Yeah. His cat shirt that his daughter made.
Right.
Yeah. I think the parade's tomorrow, maybe.
Is it?
Okay. Yeah. That'll give us all kinds of new content.
Yeah.
The people on our hockey who are very sad about it, we're just going to have to deal.
Yeah.
So, well, we still have a little time left. So I was thinking maybe it might be fun to revisit some entertaining moments from the past season in the world of hockey.
All right. This is all a surprise to me.
Yes, it's kind of a surprise to me too. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. I just kind of wrote down things that popped into my head. There's no order to it. It's all just free form. I just figured I'd talk about some things that I remembered that entertained me, and we could kind of reminisce on them.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just see how it goes.
All right, cool.
So my first moment actually goes back to the draft. It was when Beckett Seneca got drafted 3rd overall by the Ducks and was visibly stunned, and you could see him say, "Holy fuck!"
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, he was certainly overwhelmed by not expecting to be picked.
Yes. Yeah. The draft is coming up again. And this one, I don't know if it's going to be as like closely scrutinized because there aren't as many sort of like highly scrutinized draft prospects. There's no Macklin Celebrini this year,
Right.
But that was just such a great takeaway from the draft last year. That made the whole thing worth watching to me. There were some other silly moments last year, including Austin Matthews being ridiculous a couple of times.
It's me, Austin.
That would be one of them. And then there was also when he played with a goalie stick.
Oh, God, I love that.
I know. I just thought I'd bring that up to remind you because I know how happy it made you.
It does. It still brings me joy.
Yeah, just picking up the goalie stick and then looking at like, what the fuck am I doing? And then getting a penalty because you're not allowed to do that.
It's me, Austin.
Hey, it's me. It's Austin. There was the so-called bongo anthem.
Oh, the bongo anthem in Nashville.
Yes, yeah, which was really a conga anthem, but yeah.
Yeah, it was congas, wasn't it?
It was congas, but yeah. Trevor Zegras was interviewed afterwards, and he was like, yeah, that bongo anthem really threw
really threw us.
And he managed to keep a straight face for most of it, but at the end, he was laughing.
Yeah.
Four Nations happened, and there were some great moments there. Obviously there was the fights that were coordinated by text message.
Yeah.
Which were very entertaining. But then that was kind of my first moment where I was like, okay, I like Brad Marchand when he gave Travis Konechny a piggyback across the ice.
Yeah, that Brad Marchand, he's
really won me over this year.
He's the bee's knees.
He's won everybody over. That's pretty great. Charlie Lindgren scored an own goal.
Oh, man. That was
Capitals goalie.
Almost like a slap shot in his own goal.
It was so like horrible to watch, but his team was actually really great about it because they like congratulated him on his first NHL goal.
Yeah, right.
After the game, and they like really turned it into a nice moment. And then
they still won that game. I think
they did still win the game too. And then Ovechkin asked if he could have his stick for his stick museum.
Yeah.
So they basically turned it into kind of like a positive memory for him, so he didn't have to like totally crawl under his bed and die forever.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And that just kind of, I think, reflects on, we kind of, again, soured on the Capitals a little bit because they were so sort of a lot at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Especially Tom Wilson doing Tom Wilson things. But they did some really fun stuff too. Their media day stuff was great. Like the tortilla slap.
The tortilla slap. Yeah. No, their social media people are definitely Gen Zers and understand what's cool on the internet.
Yeah, no, I think like the Panthers have that like off ice culture down really pat.
Well, yeah. And I mean, like, these teams that we don't like on the ice, like they're all, nice and fun and cool off the ice. Like Tom Wilson's probably like, he makes like cornbread on Sunday mornings and shit.
I think he like volunteers with animals.
Right? Like they're all fine people.
They are for the most part. Tony D'Angelo kind of sucks. But yeah, there are definitely some bad ones in there. But a lot of them are really great. There's when Steve Valiquette said that Jack Hughes tried to embarrass Shesterkin on a breakaway.
That was the dumbest shit ever.
And Jack Hughes was and somebody like asked Jack Hughes about it and he hadn't seen it and he was like, yeah, he said you tried to embarrass Shesterkin, and Jack Hughes was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what does that mean?
Right.
That was really funny to me. I enjoyed that. I'd forgotten about that, but I found that.
It's like in my day, the team would have fought him.
Yeah, in my day, we would have been waiting to jump over the thing and show him who's bum.
Because he scored a goal.
And nobody agreed with him. Everybody thought he was an idiot.
Yep.
So dumb. Jessica Campbell, who we talked about earlier, became the first woman to coach an NHL team.
Hell yeah.
Which was great.
It's not looking like she's going to be the head coach of Dallas.
I know that you would really like her to be.
I think, yeah.
I think it's good she's staying in Seattle, hopefully, because Mason Marchment needs some help staying up on his skates. Obviously, the baby shark bromance was a highlight of the hockey season for everybody, like even people who aren't Sharks fans.
Yep.
People like everywhere were just like, oh my gosh, I love them.
Yeah.
The sleepover, the milk and cookies.
Milk and cookies.
I mean, the wearing each other's college jerseys.
Yep.
Kicking a soccer ball at Sharky.
Yeah. Oh God, the soccer ball at Sharky is great. That's good internet.
The fact that they do share a hotel room, even though they don't have to.
Yep.
Because Will Smith doesn't like to sleep alone.
Right.
I mean, it's so cute. Like, how can you not just love those guys?
Absolutely.
So I definitely have added the Sharks to my watch rotation.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great next year when Marner's hanging out with them.
I mean, maybe they're on the list. Who knows? I guess we'll see. That might be an emergency podcast. Leon Bischel had that fantastic hit on Braden Shen in one of his first games. Everything about that moment was perfect.
Yep.
Jamie Benn going, hit him, and Leon Bischel just leveling him into the boards, just knocking him fully like perpendicular, and he goes like completely horizontal. All you see are his like little skates.
Yeah.
Logan Stankoven just making absolutely shocked faces.
Yep.
Everyone on the bench laughing. Jamie Benn giggling and then saying, like, helping him up and, you know.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's
right. He got pushed into the bench and then he was stuck there and Ben had to help him get up.
Yeah. He was like, here you go. Yep. And helping him back up. And then also later in the playoffs, Bischel fully hyping up the crowd from the penalty box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting a little brawl, going to the penalty box, and then realizing that the crowd is cheering for him, and then just smiling a cute little smile, and then kind of like hyping him up.
Yep.
Really, I think just Leon Bischel was a highlight of the season for me.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. He's great. I love him. Can't wait to see him next year. Really, I mean, being there for the full season. How many hits is he going to have next season?
He's going to lead the league.
He's going to set records, and I love it. Also during the playoffs, Logan Stankoven going full feral honey badger on Connor McMichael after the final horn.
Mm-hmm.
McMichael kind of slashed at his legs, and Logan Stankoven was like, oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't care if I'm smaller than you. I'll fucking fight you, and I'll fight the rest of your team. And the refs had to hold him back. And I always have said he wants to fight.
Yeah.
And Pete DeBoer won't let him. And I was right. And I like it when I'm right.
Yeah.
There were some other good fights during the playoffs. There was the bench brawl during the Caps-Habs playoff game with Tom Wilson and Josh Anderson.
Oh, yeah, that one was chaos.
Absolute chaos. But really my favorite moment is where they cut over to Ryan Leonard and Lane Hudson holding hands.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, we're babies.
That would be scary. That would be me out on the ice. I'd be like, no thanks.
Yeah, you'd be like, I don't want any part of this.
Nope.
A regular season fight that I really enjoyed because you really enjoyed. It was the Nick Delorier and spicy tuna.
I do enjoy that Delorier.
You do. It's true.
And spicy tuna is literally my favorite thing to get at the old sushi.
You do love spicy tuna in general.
So it's a great nickname. And it was a great fight. That was the fight that I was like, no, that's a good fight. That's like within the bounds of the rules. Those are gentlemen fighters. Like those are fisticuffs.
Yeah, because you are not like a fighty boy.
No.
And you are not like into the violence of the hockey so much.
No.
And I get that. And like there are definitely things that cross the line for me too. But like I like a good old fashioned hockey fight. And
yeah,
I think you haven't really like seen one where it's like you're like, okay, yes.
Well, most of them suck.
Most of them suck.
Most of them they're just holding each other's jerseys and then they get tired and fall down.
Yeah. So. No, that one was a banger. And like you were like, okay, I get it. Like,
yeah.
I get it. That one was cool.
No, that was the one where Delorier shook his fist fist before he started, like...
Yeah, like shook his hand down by his side and you were like, oh, it's going to go down.
Yeah, no, that was like prison brawl shit.
Yeah, no, it was great. Just watching you actually enjoy a fight. Like, it was great. My pacifist husband being like, hell yes.
Yep.
Gabe Landeskog's comeback I thought was pretty great.
Yeah, whatever.
I liked it. Whatever. Now you're all in fight mode. And then, I actually really liked that NHL tipping commercial.
Yeah, you did, except for the Brad Marchand segment.
But now I like him, so it's fine.
But the audio's fucked up.
Yeah, but it's, it's just him being annoying. So I've just decided that if it's annoying, it's him doing it on purpose. And so it's fine.
Yeah.
I've come around.
Yep, you're a huge Brad Marchand fan.
Apparently I am. So yeah, those were just some of the moments that popped into my head. I know there's a million other things that I did not think of, but like I said, we're going to maybe do like a best of episode. So I'll be going back and listening to the old podcast episodes and maybe pulling some fun parts to put together for you guys.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I won't be going back and listening.
That's okay. You're going to do some hockey detox. And
although
all right.
I'll have to be pulling all these clips and editing them together. So
that's true. Well, I'll tell you what to do and you just do it.
Well, that's pretty much our entire life.
I was going to say that's just our marriage and our whole history. That's been the last 20 years. So nothing new. And yeah, I'm just, it's like I said, it's the off season. Do you have any big plans for the off season other than just not thinking about hockey as much as possible?
I don't know. I haven't had a Sunday to myself in 38 weeks.
Yeah. So tomorrow's going to be exciting for you.
Tomorrow will be exciting. We'll just have to figure out what happens from here. I don't know. Jupiter's in Cancer, so things are happening.
And I got to stop making fun of you about that stuff because my off-season project is I've decided to get into witchcraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't want to outsource to the Etsy witches next year.
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
Yep.
I hired an Etsy witch and now I'm like, you know what? I could just do this myself.
Absolutely.
I bet I'd be more trustworthy than that Etsy witch.
I mean, if you're going to cast spells, like do it yourself. Like don't outsource it.
Exactly. Like if, store-bought is fine. Doesn't apply to... Yeah. I mean, I guess it does apply to Etsy spells, but like I can also make my own.
Exactly. And, I can Venmo anybody $5.
Yeah. I just I don't know what they're going to do.
No.
I just can't trust it.
I can tell you what they're going to do. Absolutely nothing. They're just going to take your $5 and try and upsell you.
Well, anyway, I'm getting into witchcraft and I bought my first tarot deck and it arrived today. It's an Art Nouveau one and it's very pretty. And so, yeah, maybe I'll become a hockey specific witch and just really focus on the stars and just hockey specific witchcraft.
I think it's great. We don't have a full moon coming up for a while, but we'll be making moon water, I'm sure.
You're so excited because I've made so much fun of you for years for being into astrology and shit. And now
I come from a astrology spiritual upbringing, so
the first time I met your mom she was like, let me do your chart.
Yeah.
like she called me ahead of time and was like, what when where were you born, when were you born, I'm gonna want to do your chart before you get here.
Absolutely.
And I was like, what am I getting into?
Now you know your rising sign.
I do. I just figured it out yesterday. So
told you it's slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. Yeah, next time you see me I'll be a full-on witch.
Yep.
So mostly I'm just excited about the clothes.
Yeah, exactly. You can go to that goth store and buy stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to be a wrap on the first regular season of Ice is Slippery. You can find us on Tumblr, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram at Ice is Slippery Pod. You can also email us at iceisslipperypod@gmail.com. Until next time, stay out of the penalty box.